Welcome back to another reading and correcting with me, Kindar, the Tiger Writes, and Ty, the Tiger Supervisor. These are where I read a chapter from one of my stories and correct it as I go. If you want to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch, and if you're looking to support me, that is on my Patreon. Today we are doing chapter 48 of A Series of Death. The third store gave Trembor the view he needed, and the owner didn't argue about showing him the feed. Getting the program to work proved something of a challenge. Well, it usually dealt with anything computer related, but eventually Trembor got what he wanted. The blue car turned out to be a blue van, some delivery model the he couldn't make out the company of. The blue car turned out to be a blue van, some delivery model he couldn't make out the company of. I know what I meant, but I got no idea how to fix this. A delivery from a company couldn't identify. He saw Bo get in on the passenger side, but not the driver. He had to rewind further to see the hare walking with his brother. The hare was visible again minutes later as he walked to the picnic table, picking up a stone to hold the envelope in place before returning to the van. It left only 5 minutes before Trembor entered the frame, found where it was parked, spoke with the bear, then the hyenas, and then was at the table. He was lucky the van had been parked there. Trembor wasn't sure any of the other stores had that good of a view on the lot. The previous three definitely hadn't, but now he had a picture of the van along with a few of the numbers on the tag that he was confident of. He didn't care about the why right now. All he was interested in was rescuing Bo. Once that was done, he could find out why that hare had attacked him and now taken his brother. He took a breath to settle his nerve and made the call. Dispatch, an older sounding female sounded. This is R.I. Trembor Goldenmane. I need a trace on the vehicle. I have the make and model as well as a few of the tag numbers. I can also give you where the van was last seen. Proceed. He gave her the information. How quickly can you tell me where it is now? I don't have much time. She chuckled. Your body's that impatient to be paid? Something like that. Maybe he should have called Derimac and told her what was going on. She'd get things done faster because she was at the precinct to threaten people. Threats over pad lacked the immediacy of someone looming over you. You're in luck. A vehicle matching yours, down to the tag numbers, tripped just about every cameras on the road from that park to where they are now. Are you sure they're running? Seems to me they're trying hard to be followed. Where are they now? And what's the full tag? She gave him the full number, and he committed it to memory. Driving along Kelpath Avenue, looks like they're heading for the industrial district. Let me check something. Typing, more typing. Trembor thanked the store owner and headed for his car. He didn't have to sit here while she worked. Something to chase now meant he'd catch up quicker. Okay, she said as he sat in his chair. Finally got a clear image of the side of the van. It's from Harotel Shipping, and they had a center in the district. Had? He got on the road and headed that direction. When I look it up on the net, it shows us closed. Why? That you'll have to search for yourself, she answered, chuckling. Oh, which reminds me, you didn't give me the case number. I have to add that in the system. Trevor cursed silently. Of course she needed the case number. Why hadn't he remembered that? What could he give? One of the older cases? Except he didn't know Shine's case number by heart. I can't remember it. It's on my pad and I'm driving now. I'll call back and give it once I'm stopped. All right, she said, stretching the word in discomfort. Try to hurry. I shouldn't have done any of this until you gave it to me, and if they do a check and see this, I'm going to get talked to. We're not supposed to do unofficial tracking. He cursed again. Now he was getting her in trouble. This was why he followed the rules. He didn't have to worry about anyone but the bad guys getting hit then. As soon as I park, he said. He was going to have to find a way to make it up to her. He almost asked her to stay on the call until she confirmed they were going to the depot, but she had other work to do. He disconnected. Now he had to hope the fact the van came from that company meant they were going there. If he was wrong, he might not find Bo in time. He cursed and entered a number, glaring again. But this time at the block icon next to it. The wolf would help. Trembor did not doubt that. Maybe it was just an act. Maybe Marlot was that helpful. Right now, it didn't matter. What did was that the wolf could get into the enforcer system, find the van, keep tracking until Bo was safe. The wolf wouldn't even care about all the laws doing that would break. But what would be the cost? Why was this so hard? Bo's life was in the balance. Did risking the wolf's claws in him really mean more to him than his brother? Was it even that much of a risk? The claws would come to hand, the tongue, the scent, the pleasure. You didn't leave me a choice. He couldn't tell anymore if it was Gorik's voice or Marlot's, he imagined. The only thing the memory meant anymore was that either male would take his freedom away, and if he wasn't extremely careful, his health. How long had it taken Gorik until Gorik became physical with his violence? Months, no more. Would Marlot be quicker or slower? It didn't matter. Abusers hurt and destroyed. Trembor knew firsthand Gorik never had to turn physical. He'd already shattered Trembor's confidence by then, destroyed most of his identity, had made him a thing only with words whispered and screamed. Calmly, he erased the number he typed. He would rescue Bo on his own. He didn't have to break the law any more than he already had. He didn't have to risk his future by involving the wolf. He had his own way of doing things. He placed another call. Hey, Der, Trem, I need your help with something. And what are you up to now? Trying to help my brother? Isn't that done? He was released this morning. That's the court problem. This is something else. She hummed. You know, maybe you need to take a lesson from my family about keeping the males of yours in check. Trembor chuckled despite himself. It's one male, and not all of them, and trying to keep Bo in line is part of how all this was caused. Do you know anyone in tracking? Don't you know everyone that's ever been an enforcer? No, Trembor replied flatly, and knowing a lot of them doesn't tell me where they are now, where they're at now. Everyone was stalking the street with us when I got to know them. Now you're a detective, so everyone had to have moved up to even better and more productive positions than you. And you're asking if someone ended up in tracking? Someone has a strange way of thinking about improved productivity. There were a few people who slacked more than you did. You sure you need my help? That sounds more like you're insulting me. Trying to apply a Hina method since you're one. She laughed. Oh, you are so far off the mark. I'm the female, you're the male. I'm the one who'd be insulting you, and you'd be groveling for my approval. Pretty please? Trembor chuckled, then hated himself for it. Bo's life was in danger, and here he was, bantering with Derrimac. That's better, she replied with satisfaction. Does the name Jokon ring a bell? Isn't he the male I set up with that? He had to think back. Hardvark? Yellender. They're mated now. Really? Good for them. He shoved the start of the hurt down. He didn't have the time for the wolf right now. How can he help? You wanted someone in tracking? Trooper frowned, turning at the light. No, he was one of the best in the class. I'd expect him to be captain at the very least. Well, he's in tracking for the last 3 years. He's been in tracking for the last 3 years. From what I heard, stress problems. Druckum? With stress problem? Are we talking about the same male? The one with the stress problem is Yellinger, caused by the danger Druckum was in when doing patrols. To keep his mate, he transferred to tracking. I suppose some relationships are worth sacrificing for. Shouldn't his be worth that too? A small voice at the back of his mind wondered. You need me to transfer you? I know the number, thanks. He called it and had the person who answered transfer him to Jocon. Trembor, now that's someone I didn't think I'd ever hear from. What are you doing calling down here? If it's about that unmentionable person everyone's offered to turn into meat for you, I'm afraid all I can do is tell you where he is. I'm not even going to ask how you've heard about him. Do you remember what you told me when I introduced you to Yalander? That I'd be eternally grateful to you, the jackal answered flatly. I'm calling in the favor. Jocon sighed. All right, what do you need? And that concludes chapter 48 of A Series of Death. If you are enjoying this, please leave a like. If you want to know when the next chapter is going to be up, subscribe and hit the bell. If you want to read the story as well as the other books in the series, they are available at all major e-retailer. If you're looking to support me, that is on my Patreon, where you can also get access to everything I've written. And if you want to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch. The links are in the note, and with that, I shall wish you a good day.